Avengers Infinity War showcased a huge number of characters, all of whom got their moment in the spotlight, and the array of power on show was varied to say the least. When you've got gods, aliens, androids, and humans all fighting the same fight, that was bound to happen, but it also inevitably resulted in some showings that were either a little inconsistent when compared to normal, way above the character's usual pay grade, or, well, just a bit much in general. In this video, we'll take you through 10 characters who were seriously overpowered in Avengers Infinity War. And be warned, it does contain spoilers. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It's the best way of keeping up to date with all of Screen Rant's great new videos.
Underoos!
Spider-Man. Spider-Man is generally a mid-tier character who operates mostly on a street-based level. In Avengers Infinity War, however, the powers of Tom Holland's character were taken up a notch. After the opening scenes in which he held his own against a telekinetic wizard and a Hulk-level brute, he went on to devise a plan to kill said wizard, landed some hits that visibly affected Thanos when he was in possession of several Infinity Stones, and he saved more characters from imminent death than anyone else by plucking them out of the sky en masse like nobody's business. His iron spider suit was also crazy powerful and was able to spring mechanical legs out of nowhere, without instruction from Spider-Man to conveniently keep him alive when death looked inevitable.
Guys?
Black Widow. Black Widow is known for her ability to fight at a level that should, in theory, be way beyond her own, but she took that concept up a notch in Avengers Infinity War. When two of the most powerful Avengers, Scarlet Witch and Vision, were in trouble at the hands of Corvus Glaive and Proxima Midnight, Black Widow, Captain America, and Falcon saved the day, and Widow gave the two Black Order members a handful. Captain America is a super soldier, and Falcon can fly and has guns. It sort of makes sense that they'd be able to hold their own, but Widow's just a normal human being. It didn't make much sense at all. She was then able to take out the ruthless Outriders in the final battle, keeping face with a number of superpowered heroes in the process.
It's now or never.
Yes, sir. Hi.
Okoye. Prior to the events of Avengers Infinity War, we'd only really seen Okoye in action against other human characters, but we definitely already knew she was a badass. What we didn't know was just how badass she was, as she was able to do exactly what Black Widow did in that final battle. She held her own against the ruthless army of 4 armed Outriders. Danai Gurira's character is awesome. She's a warrior in every sense of the word, and the scene in which she teamed up with Black Widow to take on Proxima Midnight was undoubtedly one of the movie's highlights. How exactly an ordinary human woman is capable of such feats is a mystery, but that doesn't stop it from being completely badass.
To feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fail all the same.
Ebony Maw. The incredibly creepy Ebony Maw was essentially Thanos' hype man, using his words to tell the Mad Titan's victims how important he was and why they should be happy to die for him. In spite of the fact that he was the first of them to die, Maw was by far the most impressive member of the Black Order, thanks largely to the fact that his telekinesis was extremely OP. The alien mystic was able to overpower Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme himself, while fairly comfortably fending off both Iron Man and Spider-Man. He was able to bend metal to his whim, throw around very heavy objects, and casually slice a car in half with only a gesture. He's not the kind of guy a hero ever really wants to come up against.
I could do this all day.
Captain America. Captain America's a super soldier, an extremely skilled combatant, and he's courageous enough to put his life on the line against absolutely anyone. But he's only supposed to be enhanced to the uppermost level of human potential. With that in mind, it's pretty crazy what he's been proven to be capable of, especially in Avengers Infinity War. Not only did he come to Scarlet Witch and Vision's rescue during that aforementioned fight against Corvus Glaive and Proxima, in which the superpowered Avengers looked to be in serious trouble, he also pulled off arguably the most insane move in the entire movie. He managed to briefly match Thanos' strength when the Mad Titan was in possession of 5 Infinity Stones. He's just a man, for goodness sake. Doctor Strange. In his solo movie back in 2016, Doctor Strange was a fledgling sorcerer who, nevertheless, was quite impressive. He was able to hold his own against more experienced magic users like Caecilius before using the Time Stone to force Dormammu to admit defeat against him. His brief appearance in Thor Ragnarok showed how much more power he'd acquired at that point, but Avengers Infinity War took him to a new level entirely. Not only was he able to hold his own against Thanos with 4 Infinity Stones, he also displayed some crazy new powers that many people recognized as spells from the comics. The Crimson Bands of Sidorak, which entangled Thanos and immobilized him temporarily, and the Images of Ikon, which enabled him to create multiple copies of himself, each of which functioned independently of the others. Scarlet Witch. Hold on a second. Didn't we include Scarlet Witch in our video on the most underpowered characters in Infinity War as well? Well, yes, and that's because at different times in Avengers Infinity War, Wanda Maximoff was both. After an underpowered showing in which she needed saving from Corvus Glaive and Proxima Midnight by Captain America, Black Widow, and Falcon, she went on to do some pretty ridiculously powerful things. First of all, she was able to move Thanos' giant war machines with her telekinesis. But the most impressive feat came against the Mad Titan himself. While using half of her energy to destroy the Infinity Stone in Vision's forehead, she was able to temporarily use the other half of her energy to keep the Mad Titan at bay at the same time. And that was while he was in possession of the other 5 stones. Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark is the flagship character of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so he's never going to be lowballed in terms of power. But in Avengers Infinity War, he was an absolute beast. His new Mark L Iron Man armor, otherwise known as the Bleeding Edge armor, uses nanotechnology, which is housed in his chest and can form around him at a moment's notice. More to the point, it seems to be able to manifest whatever he needs, whenever he needs it, such as shields, wing-like structures, repulsor cannons, and energy-charged blades that were even able to make Thanos bleed when he was empowered by 4 Infinity Stones. The new armor also turned Iron Man's legs into a rocket, and it was able to instantly repair itself whenever it took damage.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
Thanos. It was already expected that Thanos, the Mad Titan, who'd been teased for 6 years in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, would be incredibly powerful. It took the coming together of almost every hero in the franchise to take him on, for goodness sake. But the prune-chinned villain was everything we hoped for and more. In his first scene in Avengers Infinity War, he pummeled the Hulk to the point that the Green Monster wouldn't come out to play anymore. And as he gathered more Infinity Stones, he only got more powerful. He was able to withstand the onslaught of nearly every hero in the movie, sometimes several of them at once, until he was able to rewind time, bring Vision back to life, rip the Mind Stone from his head, and snap his fingers to erase 50% of all life in the universe.
Who the hell are you guys?
Thor. Having started the movie being beaten to a pulp by Thanos and his Black Order, then surviving a power gem-induced explosion, Thor spent most of it on a quest with Rocket and Groot of the Guardians of the Galaxy. The quest saw him obtaining a powerful weapon known as Stormbreaker from the Dwarf King Eitri, a process that saw him being exposed to the power of a dying star. When he arrived on Earth with the weapon, the power he displayed was truly incredible. Not only was he able to completely change the tide of the battle, wiping out hordes of Outriders with ease, he was even able to fight his way through a blast from the completed Infinity Gauntlet and smash Stormbreaker through Thanos' chest. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to prevent that iconic finger click.
This doesn't make any sense.
Nah, nothing makes sense here, man. The only thing that does make sense is that nothing makes sense.
And that's the end of our video. Did you enjoy it? Which characters do you think were overpowered in Avengers Infinity War? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Screen Rant for more great videos just like this one. Bye for now.